Hello, this is gonna be part one of me sharing my original story, Wildborn. I'm mainly gonna be covering the locations that are in the story. Next time it'll be about the systems and stuff like that. Quick little side note, I have actually never read, Warriors, and I have some knowledge, but some I don't. I understand that they may both be similar, especially the names. So, if something is pretty similar, there's a pretty big chance I have no clue it's as close as it might be. Just let me know, because getting in trouble is like the last thing I want when it comes to publishing. So with that, Wildborn starts in a zoo refuge kind of thing. The main location is set in Africa. Now this is still fantasy as far as accuracy, so the places that may be explained are not scientifically or geographically correct. So if there's, something that you're like, I don't think that's a real place, it's not. Now the thing is, the zoo in the beginning, it's one of those places that takes like injured animals or like orphaned animals and cares for them, and if they're healthy and able to survive, they will release them. I guess you can kind of see where that's going. The main characters, Fleta and Hunter, are released from the zoo into Africa. So that's how we get there, to Africa. Now, what's in Africa? That would be the territory where most of the story's main locations are located. I don't have a name for the place as a whole, so yeah. If you have any ideas after I've explained kind of everything, how just like the style of how they speak and stuff, just let me know. But we do have the individual places, and I did try to make a map to help show the area, but it's not good, like, at all. The area is generally way bigger, but I couldn't make a bigger one because I had to press the undo button until my finger hurt. So we're just gonna have to be very happy with this one right here. So here in the middle we have the Silent Grounds, and basically this is an old battlefield, and it's off limits. Like, you are going to be in a lot of trouble if you get caught there. Now around the Silent Grounds, so kind of all this, that is the crests. I can't say that because I can't say S's very well, but that's crest, plural. So, which is just different cat species, like the little groups. There are 5, and I'm about to kind of, summarize kind of what they're like. So, prepare yourself for a bunch of yapping. The first one is the lions. They have the largest crest, territory-wise. They are also the strangest. Instead of being one crest like other cats, the lions split off into prides inside their crest. So they live on the same territory, but they don't congregate together only in their prides. So, yeah. Now, in present time, the lions are missing. No one knows where they're even at. They're just gone. Are they plotting? Are they hiding? Have they moved completely? No one knows. This kind of makes the other crest kind of like nervous, because like while all their other enemies are pretty much in view, they can kind of watch them. The lions are just not there, so they could be surprising them at any time. So, yeah. The second one is the leopards. The leopards have the second largest territory, and they live kind of a little bit further from the middle, so the silent grounds. They live like, I guess, kind of right up here in this non-existent part of the map that I couldn't draw. So they kind of live where the savanna starts kind of turning into the desert. I don't know why I had to say that, but I just did. So, random fact, I guess. The leopards aren't really seen either, but they have a bad reputation. Most of the other cats, they kind of just speculate that that's why the leopards moved so far, is because of this bad reputation. The leopards are basically seen as snobby and arrogant, so yeah. The next one is Kirkles. They have smaller crest territory, which they are smaller cats, so, you know. The Kirkles are pretty common to see. They are constantly fighting with their neighbors, the servals. However, in present time, they have taken a break, but how long will that last? Probably not long. The Kirkles are determined on what they want, and they won't stop until they have it. So they're basically just bullies, especially to the servals. That's their favorite target. The servals are next. Their crest has been through a lot. They had a terrible leader that was banished for being associated with an enemy, and they have been adjusting to their new leader since. Their new leader is completely opposite to their old one. He doesn't fight at all. Well, besides defense, he will have fights with others if it's defending them, but as far as attacking first, he's not gonna do it. They're pretty peaceful, and they're just tired. They don't want to fight anymore. They just don't really care at this point, besides protecting their families and their friends. Next is the cheetahs, and they're the last ones. So the cheetahs have the smallest crest. They are struggling with a crocodile infestation, and they barely have anywhere else to go. Except for the crocodiles, the cheetahs are pretty lucky to not have many conflicts with their neighbors, considering the lions are gone, the servals never attack. So the cheetahs just kind of have it made. Yeah. They're just chilling. Now, this last part, is why they are fighting. I probably should have explained this before I talked about the crests, but since I'm unorganized like that, I'm just gonna continue. The crests have been at war for a while now. Though things have kind of slowed down, it's basically only a matter of time before someone starts it again. Yeah. They're all kind of just in this, like, we need a better plan phase. So, some of them are planning, some of them are preparing. So, it just only a matter of time. But the history of the crest and why they're all against each other, or at least this is the idea so far. There are these pieces of this stone that have a map on it, and this map was shattered and lost between the crest. They all have a piece that they either stole or ran away with, which I guess is basically stealing, but it's the map is a map to a place that is very spacious, very healthy. And in the beginning, they were all just one crest, and they were all going to this place, and everybody started thinking, well, hey, what if we just, stole that map and win ourselves? And yeah, that didn't fly. So it got broke, and they all stole a piece, and now they want those pieces. Each crest wants that for themselves, and that's why they're fighting. They want to find these pieces and take them. So that's why they're fighting. I feel like that's kind of a confusing and bad concept, and it's overall just all over the place. But it makes better sense in my head, I guess. I just can't really explain it without spoiling everything, if that makes sense. I guess that's gonna be all for this part. Sorry, I'm pretty bad at explaining things. But thank you for being so patient so far. And thanks for listening. And I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of this Saturday.